Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen, or welcome if you're new. My name is Bethany, or Budget Bethany, and welcome to this week's What's for Dinner video. I like to share these with y'all every single week in hopes to give y'all some meal ideas to cook at home for your family as well. Today's video is in collab with In the Kitchen with Mama Mel, so after you get through watching my video, head on over to her channel and check her out as well, and I'll have everything linked down below in my description box.
Love the way you make me feel good. Love the way you say my name. And how I wanna feel my whole world.
Alright y'all, so we're going to start this week off with some good old grilled burgers and sausages. He also grilled some hot dogs for the kids, but I didn't get a clip of that because he was just working too fast for me. I fried up some french fries in the house, and then we had some lettuce and tomato to also put on our burgers. And I made some goulash, and this is what we call goulash. It's just mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup. And I know a lot of people call goulash like noodles and maters and ground beef, but we call goulash this. I don't know, maybe it's just a southern thing. But I'm putting me some goulash on my burger, and that was going to be dinner for this night.
To give you up for someone better, but no, she's a roller coaster. Oh, she's a flame. I'm burning up inside, but I can feel no pain. I won't try to stop her. She can't be tamed.
Alright y'all, so moving into the next dinner, it was actually Mother's Day, and we had a fish fry here at the house for all the mothers that are in our life. And right here, I'm just shredding up some cabbage and some carrots to make some good old slaw. Alright y'all, so once I got all the cabbage and the carrot shredded up, I'm just going to add in the rest of the ingredients. And the rest of the ingredients are a half a cup of sugar, a half a cup of mayonnaise, some salt and pepper, and some minced onion. And I've mentioned many times before that the reason I'm using minced onion is because my family does not care for big old chunks of fresh onion. So we do minced onion over here. But we're going to add all that in there with our cabbage and carrots and mix that up really well. By the way, this is my nanny's recipe that we're trying to perfect. Me and my mama, we have been trying to make her slaw recipe for a long time now. We're trying to get it right with the measurements and everything like that. Our good old fried catfish. My husband is such an outdoorsman. He goes hunting and fishing, so we have plenty of fresh fish and deer in our freezer that we like to use up any chance that we get. So we decided we was going to have a fish fry on Mother's Day. And then there's our cheese grits to go with our fish. And I just cut up some potatoes and made french fries. And I also made the slaw. And then I also made dessert, and I made a banana pudding for dessert. But that was our Mother's Day dinner. Then moving into the next dinner, y'all, we had some good old chili cheese, hot dogs, and fries. I don't think it can get any simpler than that. You just put your hot dogs on your baking pan, pop those in the oven, bake them. I warmed up the chili that was in the can, and then we just topped it on top of our hot dogs. I also fried up some french fries and some grease on the stove, but of course you could bake them or cook them in your air fryer. However you cook your french fries, cook your french fries, girl. But I like to fry mine in grease, and then we just put the chili on top of everything with our cheese, and that was dinner for this night. Next night, we had some cheesy chicken enchiladas with Mexican rice, and my family used to request this all the time, but they kind of got burned out, but now they're requesting it again, so I cooked it on this night. And all you'll need is a rotisserie chicken, some taco blend cheese, some sour cream, some queso blanco cheese, some green chilies, and some tortillas for the enchilada part. And then for the Mexican rice, you'll need some chicken broth, some tomato sauce, some salsa, and some rice. So right here, all you'll do is shred up your rotisserie chicken, however you like it shredded up. I like mine pretty, fine, not really big and chunky. Then you'll take a tortilla, you'll put some of your shredded chicken on there, you'll top with some of your cheese, and then some of your salsa. By the way, I said the salsa was for the rice earlier, but it's actually for the enchilada part. Forgive me, sorry, didn't mean to say that. And then you just roll it up, and then you'll make your queso. To make your queso, you just melt down that queso blanco cheese, the Velveeta cheese. Once it gets kind of melted down a little bit, you'll add in your green chilies. And this part is optional. You do not have to add sour cream to yours, but I just like to add sour cream. It just gives a little bit different flavor. And then you just mix it up until everything is good and melted.
I pull into your driveway, it's a Saturday night. You look like $1,000,000 wearing that dress I like. You're smiling, but there's something missing.
Once your cheese is all melted down, you want to pour about half of the cheese mixture over your enchiladas and make sure that you cover all the enchiladas really good. I like to reserve the other half just for like dipping or, whatever, because I like to have a lot of cheese on my stuff. But of course, you could pour the whole thing on there if you wanted to, but I always just use half the thing and then keep the other half for like dipping and stuff.
All your problems will fade if you're ready for a good time. Count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibe.
Then you'll just sprinkle on some more of that taco blend cheese, and then you'll put it in the oven on 350 for about 10-15 minutes, just long enough to melt your cheese.
Where's that happy girl that I know with a heart on fire? I'll do anything to make it fine, but I can tell that you have something on your mind right now. But I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax. All your problems will fade if you're ready for a good time. Count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. We're all about the good vibes.
So while my enchiladas were baking in the oven, I just made my Mexican rice. And to make my Mexican rice, I just poured in some olive oil into my pan. Then I poured in a cup of rice and let that rice get good and toasty. It'll turn like a brown color. Then I dumped in my 1 can of tomato sauce. And then once I got that mixed up, I dumped in 1 can of chicken broth. The last time I made this, I just used water with a chicken bouillon cube. And it turned out just as fine, but this time I used chicken broth. And then I just put my lid on it and let it simmer on low until all the liquids were cooked out of it. And it will look like this once it's done. Then it was time to take my enchiladas out of the oven, and here they are, y'all. Don't they look so delicious, ooey gooey and cheesy? So all I did was just top some of that queso cheese on top of my rice, and I had a little bit on the side for dipping, but for some reason I didn't have it in this clip. I guess I hadn't fixed it yet, but that was dinner for this night, y'all. On the next night, we had some good grilled steaks, and I have to say they were grilled to perfection. We always like our steaks medium rare, and these things, y'all, they were just delicious. This was actually for a grilling video that went up this past Friday. If you're interested and you missed it, I'll link it down below so you can go check it out. It was really good, and I also made some jalapeno poppers and some grilled corn. Y'all, this meal was the best meal that we had all week. It was so delicious.
You said you love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in your car. Let me see who you are, who you really are. Yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, 'cause if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle. No, I just gotta know if.
So I'm curious, what do y'all put on yours corn on the cob? I always rub some sour cream and some tahini seasoning on my corn on the cob, but I know some people like mayonnaise, some just butter, salt, and pepper. I want to know what y'all put on y'all's corn on the cob, so y'all let me know down in the comments what you like on yours. Alright, y'all, so now we're going into the final dinner for this week, and it's just some smothered pork chops and potatoes. And I used to cook this all the time for my family. It used to be one of our favorites, but we haven't had it in a while either, so I don't know. I just decided I was going to cook it this night, and they were all so excited. So all you'll need is some potatoes, some pork chops, and 2 cans of cream of mushroom, and just a little bit of sour cream, and then I've got the green beans just for another side. But to start with, I'm just going to season up my pork chops, and I'm going to season them on both sides, and I'm seasoning them with garlic powder, onion powder, and some Morton's seasoned salt.
Talk to me, baby, I've been waiting for a lifetime. Just keep on fading in all these photos, caught in the
Now that my pork chops are all good and seasoned up, I'm going to take a separate bowl and I'm going to dump in my 2 cans of cream and mushroom and then just a little bit of sour cream. It's less than a half a cup. Like I say, you don't need much sour cream, just a little bit to make it kind of creamy, I guess is the word for it. So I'm just going to mix that up in this bowl, and then I'm going to dump half that mixture on top of my pork chops and make sure I spread it out real evenly to make sure that all the pork chops get coated. I got the pork chops good and coated. I just went right on in with the potatoes and I just spread them out evenly on top of the pork chops, and then I went in with the rest of the cream and mushroom and sour cream mixture right on top of the potatoes. That just keeps them from getting like dried out and kind of look burnt looking. And the past time I cooked this, I noticed that it was kind of dry and I really wasn't a big fan of it. So this time when I cooked it, I added in some chicken broth, and I've tried it both ways, like I said, and if you're going to try this recipe, I highly recommend you adding just a little bit of chicken broth around the edges of your pan. That just keeps it good and juicy.
Might be easier just to let it go. Cut the cable short and the problem solved. Might be easier for you. I do it all night. You're my only lifeline.
Then you just want to cover it in aluminum foil and bake it in the oven on 375 for about 45 to 50 minutes. Once it comes out of the oven, and the potatoes were perfection this time, y'all. They were not dry at all. But that's it for this week's What's for Dinner video, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave me a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because I would really love for you to join my YouTube family. Also, don't forget to go check out In the Kitchen with Mama Mel. I'm sure she'll have a good old What's for Dinner for you. Also, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Photos caught in the memories and captured in the highlights. Just keep on wasting.